Pixel People Pod. Zap, 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 it's on. Rewind the future fraud.
Yeah, you know, they put that other arm up on eBay. I bid on it, but I didn't bid enough. Oh crap. Hey everyone. Welcome to Pixel People Pod. I'm your host, Greg. Say hello, Jan.
Hello, Jan.
And say hello, Chris.
I would say, hey, hello, Chris, but Jan always does that same joke, so hello.
Yeah.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Pixel People Pod. This week, it's our first, from now on, monthly episodes of a 80s album. We take an 80s album, big 80s album, we break it down, talk about it, go over it song by song, see why it was so big or why it failed. But this one is obviously one that
Did not fail,
yeah. Def Leppard Hysteria. But before we get into the album, as always, we have Jan's Gnarly News.
Here we go. Jan's Gnarly News. Jan's Gnarly News.
Hit us with that news, Jan.
Here's the January 19th, 1980 something gnarly news. January 19th, 1980, Rock With You by Michael Jackson reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart.
What was the one last week, the Michael Jackson song?
You honestly think I remember a week ago?
I think it was Rock With You. It was a Michael Jackson song. You remember that, Chris? Because we talked about how big Off the Wall was.
Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me if every episode we do, the number one song of that week is a Michael Jackson song.
Yeah, yeah.
Or Bruce Springsteen. January 19th, 1980, Pink Floyd's The Wall started a 15-week run at number 1.
You deserved it. That's a great album. Well, Chris, you're not a huge Pink Floyd fan, though, are you?
I like them. They're not in my top 5 bands of all time or anything like that. But yeah, I do enjoy it sometimes.
That album.
But that is a great album.
Yeah, it's not my favorite Pink Floyd. Dark Side of the Moon is my favorite. But that one,
Yeah.
if you took all of the best songs on that one and put it together, it'd be one of the greatest album maybe ever. But it's got his little filler stuff he puts in there. Oh, woe is me. I'm Roger Waters. Oh, boo-hoo, my dad died.
That was their
His
third
life's so
U.S.
tough.
number 1.
Their which one?
Their
Third?
third U.S. number 1.
So what would have been the other ones? Probably Dark Side of the Moon. Probably Animals.
Dark Side of the Moon is the only one I have
Oh,
listed.
no, I bet you it was Wish You Were Here. I don't think Animals is as big as Wish You Were
It
Here.
sold over 30 million copies.
Yeah. But
There's a better "Wish You Were Here" song out there in the world,
yeah,
but
okay.
I won't go into
Incubus
that.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah, I won't
It
go
was
into
the
that.
second best-selling LP in their catalog.
You know
It was
why?
behind Dark Side of the Moon.
It sold, did you say 30 million?
30 million.
It really only sold 15.
Why is that?
Because they count double albums each disc, like each album back then. If you saw the double album, it counted twice. So if it's sold 50, it's still huge, but you got credit for double back then. I don't know if they still count that way.
Well, you also have to look at selling 15 million back then with you physically having to go to the store and buy it.
Yeah.
You can't download it and stuff
Well-
like that. It makes all those records just not, you can't compare them, I don't believe. I mean,
You
they're
can't, but
records
you
that are
can't
unreal.
mark anything anymore. Too, that now Billboard, the way they count, they count there is still people that buy physical. It's actually more vinyl now than anything else. But then they take, they add the streaming stuff in to get it now. It's not they've not figured out yet how to really tell your true album sales, album plays now yet. But back then though, we were talking about that coming home today. Jan and I went antiquing for 80 stuff.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. So
Oh, we
back
went right
then-
by your house.
Yeah. Back then, you hear these albums sell like 30 million, this album sold 30 million copies. Yeah, but they sold the same album like 4 times to the same person because back then, if you want an album, you get the vinyl. And then several years later, you get your first car and you're like, I need it on cassette. So you buy it on cassette. And your cassette gets chewed up by your tape player. Then it's 1992 or something. You're like, I got to get it on CD. So, a lot of those albums from the 70s, well, you even throw 8 tracks in on some of that. Some of them albums that came out in the 70s that are still sold up through the 90s got sold 4 times to the same people sometimes. Thanks to streaming, they don't have that. That's where these guys are losing their money because they, streaming, you're not buying that. You're just streaming it.
That's why you make so much touring now compared to probably
That's
back
why
then.
it's $70 to sit on the grass to see Iron Maiden and Megadeth this summer.
Right.
Well, it's really, 2 bands, it's 35 apiece. If you want to look at it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
January 19th, 1981, Styx released their 10th studio album, Paradise Theater, which is actually their most commercially successful album.
Really?
Peaked at number 1 for 3 weeks.
It was bigger than Mr. Roboto?
It was.
You know the songs that are on that album?
No, I didn't write that down.
I wonder if that one had Blue Collar Man on it.
It was their
I'll look
fourth
it up.
consecutive album that's certified triple platinum.
That's I'm not a huge Styx fan, but the ones I like, I really like. And of course, Blue Collar Man, I love that song. But
They tour every summer now. They're doing
Yeah.
a tour this summer called the Windy City Tour. It's Chicago and them.
yeah,
You can get tickets on Groupon for like $20 to sit
Yeah.
in the grass.
yeah,
Great show. They are great live.
yeah.
I've seen them three times now.
I saw them
They're
like
great.
15 years ago, and they were still good. And I mean, I saw Tommy Shaw.
I love Tommy
He
Shaw.
still sounds just like he always did.
Yeah.
He's not lost anything.
Yeah, he has
else,
not lost anything. In
Well,
his
that
voice.
song, that album Paradise,
Yeah.
is Paradise on My Hand or Paradise Theater.
Yeah.
That had Too Much Time on My Hands, The Best of Times. Those are like the two
Okay, yeah.
super big ones. But yeah,
Too Much Time on My Hands is a great song.
yeah, unreal.
I bought
Great song.
just to throw this in there, I bought a $250 bass synthesizer pedal when I was still in the band because we started practicing Too Much Time on My Hand one night. This is right before COVID hit. And that little opening parts like the keyboard, you know,
Yep.
that like that, I thought I'll play that on bass. So I started researching pedals and found this Korg synthesizer bass pedal. $250, ordered it, shipped it, and then COVID hit, and we never played that song again. And I was going to play that opening part using my synthesizer pedal, and I never. So it's
You can
plugged
learn
in.
it and play it for me.
Yeah, it's plugged in right now at church. I play bass in the church band now, and I have it plugged in up there. And every now and then, right before church, I'll play around with it, trying to get a weird sound out of it.
Or
I
weird
thought this
look
was
from me.
leading into you playing it for the podcast.
No, I can't
I think
afford.
you should.
I can't. I ain't paying them copyright laws on that. That stuff's expensive.
Come on, we
You
can
gotta
dish out a
play,
couple
like,
100,000.
You can't even see
20-second intervals.
Yeah, maybe. I've read even that they can get you though. We just talk about music. We don't sing.
We
it or-
should do that. We should do that so then it blows up and become like mega famous. Like, that's the podcast.
How about
That
you
ripped
do
off
it
Sticks.
on
Yeah.
your podcast
Yeah, let's do
first,
it
and
on
we
the-
see how it
Let's
goes?
put an audition
We'll do
the Box Top Pod where we
We'll
play
do it.
some. Okay.
I'm down. We'll do live music.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
All right. Y'all are going to love this next one. Born January 19th, 1982. Jodie Sweetin.
How do I know
Who?
that name? Wait a minute. She was from Full House. ain't
Full
she?
House.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The neighbor,
Stephanie
right?
Tanner.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I thought it was the. Oh, yeah. I got you. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. January
I'm sure
19th,
she-
1982. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts released the single I Love Rock and Roll.
I have that on 45. Bought
One
it
of
on
the
45.
biggest rock anthems of the 1980s.
Loved that song. Played it constantly. Had it on 45. Would listen to it constantly. And now I
We
skip
skip
it
it.
every time it comes on because I've heard that song way too much.
We're going to talk about that coming up here in a minute, too. We'll get more in depth in this podcast
Really? On that song?
about you skipping songs.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys remember this one? January 19th, 1983, Apple unveiled their Lisa computer,
No, I do not know that.
one of the first personal computers with a graphical user interface. It
That
was supposed
sounds
to be
familiar, but-
groundbreaking for professionals, and it introduced windows and icons and drop-down menus and a mouse, and it failed miserably
Yeah, I don't remember that.
because it was a failure.
Well, it was also, before I was into computers, we had like one computer. What year was that again?
1983.
Yeah, that would have been.
We
I
were
was,
11.
I was probably 5th grade at Bannock at elementary school, and I don't think we had a computer there yet.
Yep.
It was middle school, like I think 8th grade before we had our first computer in the school.
January 19th, 1985, Reba McEntire's song How Blue reached #1 on the country singles
I
chart.
couldn't tell you one Reba McEntire. I know Reba McEntire. I know she was big, but if you play one of her songs to me right now, I couldn't tell you if it was
Come
her.
on, she's a redhead. I know you have every song memorized.
No, I don't know. I really don't know Reba. Do you know your Reba McEntire songs, Chris?
Fortunately, I know one. I can't tell you the name of it, but I know one. I think it's called Fancy or something like that. But
she's
just
huge, but
not-
I don't remember her
not-
music. I mean, it's
she's
that's
just not
knocking
my.
her.
Yeah, she's
I
not
think
my
I know
thing.
her more as an actress than I do a singer. And,
Yeah, probably.
January 19th, 1985, Foreigner went #1 on the UK singles charts with I Want to Know What Love
I
Is.
love that song. I don't care.
What is the song?
I Wanna Know
wanna
What Love Is.
Oh
Foreigner.
yeah.
That song.
I want you to show me.
When they get the chorus with the choir singing and all that stuff, when I was a kid, there's something about that song that's so epic. It's one of them songs that's
Yep.
just like
It's relaxing.
so well done and so over the top and great. It's like, yeah, that song, I still listen to it,
Yeah, it's a great song.
Foreigner was so good. I'm glad they finally got in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They deserved it. They got
Yeah, we
held
saw
out for a
them-
long time.
Yeah, I saw Foreigner and Styx together in concert. That was really good.
I tell you the sad thing. I saw Foreigner back in like '98, opening for Journey. Me and my cousin Wes and Lou Graham was still singing for him. But this is right when he started having health problems,
Right.
and he could not hit any high notes. But instead of like singing them low to cover for it, he was still trying to sing like Lou Graham from 88
no.
instead of 98, and it was bad. And I was like, this is not good. And then Journey came out and they had Steve Aguilera that was singing for him then, who looked like Joe Perry and sang like him. And we stuck through about half of it, but we was kind of tired and left. And then years later, I saw Foreigner again with, I forget the guy's name that sung for him. He just retired. But he was really good. Yeah. Kelly Hansen,
Yeah.
he was the old singer
Yeah.
for Hairband Hurricane. But he was really good, and Journey, I mean, Foreigner was really good. And I know it was, just Mick Jones on guitar and him, but they were really good the second time I saw them. And I
Yeah,
felt
that's
bad
who
for
I-
Lou Graham, though. He had a lot of health problems.
Yeah, that was the guy that was singing for him when we saw them in Sticks together.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah.
It was a great show.
He just retired. They have another guy now.
Yeah. Keep on going, babies.
Yeah.
January 19th, 1985, George Strait's fourth studio album, Does Fort Worth Ever Cross Your Mind? Became the second #1 album of his career.
George Strait's all over this thing the last couple of
I
weeks.
know, but he's that
So
good.
George, baby.
Yeah. Again, I think I know like 2 of his songs. The guy's huge, but I just don't know his music, but I respect him.
He's got great songs, not great live.
Yeah. Oh, really? Well, don't say that around my niece. She's
Hell,
actually,
he just stands there.
she's
He just stands
well,
there.
Yeah.
Doesn't do
That's
anything.
country music, though. You're not supposed
That's all
to
you
dance
do
around
in
for-
country music.
Yeah. You don't expect to like see Bo Sivas running around, do you? And,
He's lucky enough to be able to sit on a stool nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
Bo Cephas.
January 19th, 1985. Chris, you're going to love this one.
Okay, good.
Bruce Springsteen, he topped the U.S. albums chart with Born in the USA.
Crap album.
I did like that song, though.
I did too.
I'm pretty sure I have that record here, down here, the vinyl somewhere. I had it as a kid, or maybe Scotty had it. My brother had it, but we had it. So
I think a lot of
I
people
always
had
thought
it.
that was a dumb album cover. I remember liking some of the songs, but I just thought that album cover just stupid. Him with his, back pocket with the him pretending to be Mr. Everman. And I'll probably loses some fans here, but as we've said before, not a fan.
Not a fan.
January 19th, 1985, REO Speedwagon debuted at number 46 on the charts with their single Can't Fight This Feeling.
Yeah, with the #1, I think.
It did, eventually. January 19th, 1986, the first MS-DOS virus is unleashed.
Oh, great. Yeah.
It was a floppy disk boot sector virus known as Brain. It was written by 2 Pakistani brothers. They claimed it was intended to protect their copyrighted medical software from piracy.
It wouldn't shock me.
Those 2 guys are still in business.
Oh, DOS it. Yeah. I learned on DOS back in the early 90s, so I had to learn on for computer programming.
Released January 19th, 1986, Rock Me Amadeus.
That was a good song.
Falco.
As long as it's the English singing and not the German version, I can't take
Is
it.
that the taco guy did that? Was that taco?
No,
Falco.
Taco was Falco. Yeah, Taco was putting on the Ritz, wasn't it?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Falco
Okay.
did and it's they had they give the whole Amadeus timeline, like the history of the spoken word on it. That's a weird song, but it was fun to listen to.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
All right, this next one is just for me and me only.
Okay.
January 19th, 1987, MTV aired the premiere episode of Headbangers Ball.
Yep, that was one of the best shows they had on there.
Loved
Why is that just
show.
you only?
Because
Jan?
Greg didn't get to watch it back
I
in
didn't
the
have
80s.
cable. Yeah.
Oh, I watched that.
She didn't have cable. Yeah, you were a rich kid, Chris. She didn't have cable
Oh, yeah,
either, but she
yeah.
had a boyfriend that had it.
Yes.
So, but I would go over and I would have my cousin Wesley record it sometimes for me, but I would also have him record Yo MTV Raps. Were you watching that,
Yep.
Jan?
Absolutely not.
Yo MTV Raps was good.
Nope.
Yeah.
Did not watch that one. Not my cup of tea. January 19th, 1987, Lou Graham released his debut solo album, Ready or Not.
That had the
It
big
was a
song.
commercial success.
Midnight Blue was on that, I do
Right?
believe.
It
Yeah.
generated 2 hit songs, Midnight Blue, peaked at number 5, and number 2 single, Ready or Not, which reached number 54.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
On
But
the
Midnight
Billboard Hot
Blue
100.
that was a rocker. That was a good song.
Yeah, I'm singing it in my head right now.
Shows you how life is fleeting and how things happen because, Foreigner was still huge then. And he puts out that album thinking, I'm going to be this big solo guy. And I'll be like Phil Collins or Sting. And he had that one album and then he got sick and lost his spot in Foreigner. And then just for years now, he's played like, on tours where he's like the second guy on there or something. It's like, you really enjoy it while you can, especially when you're in music or or acting like that because it could go away real fast.
Yep. Enjoy the now.
Yep.
This next one, I'll be interested to know if you guys listened to this one or had the album. And I'm going to go with probably not.
Okay.
January 19th, 1987. Prince released the first album from his mysterious jazz fusion side project, Madhouse, titled 8.
Nope.
Nope.
I was big into jazz back then. You know what I mean? No, I don't know. I don't think never knew that existed. Although he would be a good jazz artist, I think. He could do anything. So
Was he the symbol at that time, or was he still Prince?
87, he was still Prince.
Okay. I don't remember when he changed to the.
yeah, because
to the-
'89 he was still
symbol.
Prince for the Batman stuff. I know that.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
Prince did a bad dance, not Symbol.
That's true.
January 19th, 1988. Bon Jovi and Motley Crue manager Doc McGee pleaded guilty to importing more than 40,000 pounds of marijuana into the U.S. from Colombia via a shrimp boat.
That was a big deal, and it's funny because this is what happens when you're the manager of Motley Crue and Bon Jovi, or you're Chris or Jen or Greg, because he got busted for basically trafficking drugs. And he got out of it by saying, I tell you what, I'll have all my guys play a concert. And so it was in Russia, wasn't it? I think it was the Russian concert. I think they went to Russia and played a peace concert in Russia.
It was his Make a Difference Foundation.
Yeah, I think, I know Whitesnake played over there, and I think Metallica played it, and everybody played that concert to get him basically keep from going to prison. So, next time you get picked up for anything illegal, say, hey, I'll play a show for you if you let me off.
I'll start this
works.
nonprofit for you with
Yeah.
the money I just made from selling these
He's
drugs.
also Kiss's manager now. He's managed them for the last 30 years.
Were either of you Taylor Dane fans?
Yeah, I liked her hits.
January 19th, 1988.
I think
she
Chris was a
released,
Daniac back in high school. Weren't you?
I was. I had like a shirt and a poster on the wall.
She released her album Tell It to My Heart.
That's a good song.
January 19th, 1988. 48 Hours premiered on CBS.
Oh, the TV show, not
The
the movie?
TV show.
Okay. What
Oh,
year?
I was.
1988.
That's still going on, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's one of the longest lasting investigative true crime shows on TV.
Yeah.
And there you have Jan's Gnarly News.
Good news, Jan. Way to be on it right there. You're the most trusted news source in America these days.
I sure am.
Yep.
I should get paid more.
When are you getting your White House press pass to go ask
she's
those
not,
hard-hitting
but-
I
questions?
could get it anytime I wanted,
She-
if I wanted.
Good
She
job.
she got her hair cut last week like Rachel Maddow, though. So that's,
Oh
yeah.
Have you not seen it, Chris?
no, that's what everybody strives to be.
Yeah. So anyway, that brings us. We're not going to do. I thought about doing a what does this cost, but I actually thought. I tell you what's funny. I thought about throwing one together real fast because I thought let's do one. What did a CD cost back then versus what it costs today? But actually, I think they're about the same price because back then you pay for a CD in the late 80s, early 90s it'd be like $15. And if you order a CD now off Amazon or something off a new album, they're about $15. They haven't gone up like, But that's because they were so overpriced back then. All that music was overpriced. If you, that'll be.
It wasn't if you liked it.
Yeah, that'll be another episode one day, but Metallica proved that when they fought for a new record contract and got the highest amount of money any artist ever got per album sale. They were getting $1 per album sale when they redid their contract in the early 90s. So think about that. You're paying $15 for a CD, and they were the highest paid artist for that. They got $1 off every album sold. Most bands got like 25, 30 cents. So, when you're thinking like, hey, it sold 10 million copies. Yeah, but the band didn't see it. The greedy record label did. So it's not a great time for the big bands now that have to tour constantly and make their money. But as a musician now these days, it's a great time to be alive because you can actually record your own album, put it out, promote yourself, and not have to have the middleman in between it. So off my soapbox.
Okay.
As a retired musician. So who never could make it musician.
You did it for the love, not the
I
money.
did. And the chicks. Got me a
Yeah,
wife.
and the chicks.
Got me a wife
Chicks
out
for
there.
free.
Yeah. All right. So this week we're talking about Def Leppard Hysteria. And Jan did the research this week, and she's going to lead us off and tell us about this album.
Well, it was the fourth studio album by this English rock band. It was released in August 1987 by Mercury Records. It was the follow-up of their 1983 breakthrough Pyromania, which is also a great album.
Yeah. Not as good as High and Dry, but it's good.
They had 3 great albums in a row there.
Well,
I
would you
mean,
say High and Dry, Pyromania, and then Hysteria?
Yeah, I think that's 3 almost perfect albums in a row.
What's the album before High and Dry? Isn't it the one with the truck on it?
Hold on.
On Through the
While
Night?
y'all
On
keep
Through the
talking, I'll
Night.
look.
Jan knew it. It's On Through the Night. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Jan knows
she
her
did.
Def Leppard. She's a big Def Leppard fan. So, all right.
And did you guys realize that they actually published a book titled Animal Instinct, the Def Leppard story, on the recording process of this album?
No, but that would be interesting. And I keep telling you, Jan, we're going to watch it sometime. Metallica, their Black Album, they did the same thing. It took them like 2 years to record it. And they put cameras in there and recorded the whole thing. And they have like an hour and a half documentary on it. And I imagine watching the Metallica people do it, it was what it was like with Mutt Lange and Def Leppard in the studio doing this album. Because they just went to 3 or 4 different studios. They tried every instrument they could think of, all this stuff. I mean, it was a chore. And
There's this little Go ahead.
Go
Sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
There's a little documentary out called "The Making of Pump" that Aerosmith did before Metallica did it.
Yeah.
That shows the making of that album from beginning to end.
Yeah.
That's great too. Just throwing that in there.
You had to throw Aerosmith in there, didn't you?
Yeah,
That's
he,
right,
he
always.
always does.
Rolling Stones. There, I topped everybody.
Great White.
The Beatles. So I topped you.
Them old Beatles messed up rock and roll.
Chuck Berry. Yeah. Yeah. Jan's dad says the Beatles ruined rock and roll. He's not a Beatles fan.
Yeah, we don't play Beatles around him.
Yeah. So
The Beatles are another topic for another podcast.
yeah.
The Hysteria album lasted 62 minutes and 32 seconds, which is their longest studio album to date.
I know you got a whole list of stuff right here, but
Yep.
tell them how long it took them to make that album.
It took over 3 years to make. It was plagued by delays from the get-go. One of the delays, which was huge, was the aftermath of their drummer, Rick Allen, getting in an automobile accident that cost him his left
He
arm.
lost his arm?
He lost his arm.
It's the first time hearing of such
He's
things.
a one-armed drummer.
Yeah.
He's the greatest drummer in the world.
I mean,
Period.
I think
What-
we said this before, but I mean, you could argue he's not the greatest drummer, but he kind of is because he does it with one arm.
That's what I'm saying. He does
Yeah.
it with one arm. He's I don't think he's the greatest drummer in the
Yeah, I
world.
know.
I
But-
just think that he's what he went through and adapted and overcame to continue playing,
And
and what he did makes him one of
going
the greatest
back
drummers
like
ever.
10 episodes ago where we talked about this before and talked about that, I'll say it again now since we're talking about Def Leppard. This band will forever have my respect because when that guy lost his arm, they could have said, all right, we're going to have to get a new drummer. We'll let you, partake in songwriting stuff. We'll keep you somehow in the band, but we have to have a new drummer. And they didn't. They're like, you're our brother. We'll
Right.
figure it out. And they did. And he's still tours to this day. It's like, bands have thrown people out for way less than losing your arm. And they're like,
Well, I
no,
think
man.
Yeah.
So that was a huge
think-
part of why this took 3 years to make.
Yeah.
They also went through 3 producers, 3 studios, another car crash by producer Mutt Lange. They went through A Case of the Mumps by singer Joe Elliott, and that's why it took 3 years.
And A Case of Booze by Steve Clark, their guitar player. That guy loved his alcohol.
This was their third and final album to be produced by Mutt Lange.
Yeah.
He started with them during this, kind of got fed up and went on to another project. So they got another producer.
Who Shania Twain?
It might have been.
That
No,
was
it
his
wasn't.
other project.
Yeah.
Oh, that was his other project.
That was his wife.
I get it.
Yeah, that was his project.
What was
Yeah.
she then, 12?
No, she's about the same age as they was.
Oh.
Probably. She just wasn't big
I was
yet.
thinking she was younger than that.
Yeah. No, she's like 60 now. So.
The title of the album is said to have been conceived by Rick Allen, referring to his whole car accident and the amputation of his arm and the crazy media frenzy that surrounded all that, the hysteria, which makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And it also was the last album to feature guitarist Steve Clark before he died in 1991.
That guy was talented, but he just could not stop drinking.
Yeah.
It's like, some guys just can't.
He had some songs to appear on later albums that he had already co-written.
Yeah, Def Leppard, if you go see Def Leppard now, you're seeing like the band that's been together a long time, but they've only lost 2 members. And one of them was Pete Willis, their original guitar player who played with Clark, and he left, and Phil Collins took over. And then Steve Clark died, and he got replaced by Vivian Campbell, who's the best guitar player there was in that band. But, and he was Dio's guitar player, and now he plays rhythm guitar for Def Leppard. It's crazy. But, they've stuck together. If it wasn't for him dying, you'd still be seeing the same band today. They've stuck
Right.
together.
And I think what makes this album that much more over the top is that when it first came out, the sales had kind of stalled but it became a worldwide commercial success, and it reached #1 in the U.S. and the U.K., but it remained on those charts for over 3 years,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal.
They would not do that now. They wouldn't even do that 10 years from then. They wouldn't let you let an album slow build like that. If it didn't hit right off the bat. Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses, almost a year I think it was out, and it didn't do anything. And finally one of the singles took hold. So, they just kept saying this is going to make it, and that's what this album was. And it didn't hit big right off the start.
It's Def Leppard's best-selling album to date, selling over 25.3 million copies worldwide, including 12 million in the U.S. It spawned 7 hit singles and remains one of the best-selling albums of all time.
So,
And in contrast, the 1993 album Pyromania sold 10 million copies.
I know Chris probably knows this, but anybody that doesn't know a lot of stuff about the charts, if you sold up, you hear where somebody goes platinum, you go gold, that means you sold 500,000 copies. You want to go gold. You go platinum, that's like we went platinum. That is what you aspire for, to go platinum.
Yep.
But there's another one above platinum called diamond status, and that's when you've gone double-digit platinum, which when you go over 10 million copies or more. I think there's 20 or 30 albums ever, but maybe that many, maybe less. But this one, you have an album that goes diamond, you're cemented. It's like, this is historical.
There's only 3. I saw this on something on the other day. There's only 3 singles, just the singles, to ever go double diamond in the whole history of music.
What are they? Do you know?
One is a Bruno Mars song. One is something else, and the last one to do it was Chris Stapleton's cover of David Allan Coe's Tennessee Whiskey.
Really?
Yep. The first country song to do that.
I was going to say, I don't doubt that one bit, because every time we play out the band, play Tennessee Whiskey. We played a show one time where we took a break after our first set, and they're playing the jukebox and stuff, and they're playing the music and everything. Chris Stapleton's Tennessee Whiskey comes on, and people start dancing to that song over the jukebox playing. So they hear it. They hear the actual song. We come back, start playing. We got 2 songs in. Play Tennessee Whiskey. We're like, you just heard the actual song. We're not going to play it.
Yeah.
There's just certain songs
like
we
Play Freebird. Stop.
Stop. But there's certain songs where, people would yell out to play, and even if we knew it, you get a certain, I'm going to tell you right now, people, if you go and watch a bar band play, or, anybody local, they have a disdain for their audience, because we did. Not all of you, we're glad you come out, but some of you drunks that think you're being cute and requesting these songs, or coming up and, trying to, the band hates you, okay? So.
And this is why Greg is a retired musician.
Yes. When you come up and it's like, for the 50th time that night, play that David Allan Coe song. If you don't even know the name of the song, we're not going to play it. And we could have played it many times, but no, we're not going to.
Yeah.
In
and
protest.
right now, while we're talking about this album, I've got the Def Leppard playlist on YouTube right now, playing the videos while we talk. So.
Yeah. So Chris,
And your
did you
favorite
have
one's
this album back then?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think I had a copy. I think we would share. Me and my friends would, if somebody got an album, they'd give them a blank cassette. The next day they'd bring it for you, record it.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, I had tons of albums when I was younger. I don't have them now, but I had this. I had Pyromania. Those are like, and then High and Dry. That was the other one. I had all 3 of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. I mean, and I was listening to it today, riding back from Lincoln.
Yeah.
And it's just a phenomenal album, beginning to end.
I think the first Def Leppard album I actually paid money for was in the mid-'90s. I bought their Greatest Hits CD.
How dare you?
Oh.
And listened to it. And I remember thinking then, when I would buy like Greatest Hits albums of certain bands like that, and I remember listening to it thinking like, man, these are all killer songs. There's not a bad song on this.
Yeah.
And you can put like 15 Greatest Hits songs on a CD, man. You've had a career.
Yeah, and that's what gets a lot of people into the bands. They'll get a Greatest Hits, and they'll be like, oh, I like that song. Let me see. They start,
dive
especially
deeper.
now with streaming services, you can like on Apple Music, you can do essentials, and they'll be like the essentials. They'll pick like songs from all their albums, and then you're like, I like that song, and then you just go download the next song or the next album. I mean, it does make learning about bands easier with streaming, but buying the old vinyl or cassette or CD or whatever, just something about going in line, buying that, taking it, unwrapping it like the CD and playing it in your car as soon as you get out there. There's just something about that they don't understand anymore.
Yeah. What you got there, Jim?
Animal was the lead single in most countries except the U.S. and Canada.
Yes, it
where
was.
the lead single was Women.
Yeah, which I did not know that, and it kind of shocked me when I would have not thought that would have been the number one, the lead off. That's probably why it took them forever to start hitting it big. I don't think that song's as good as some of the other ones, but
That's why today when we were listening to it, I had you skip
yeah,
that song.
yeah.
What'd you skip?
Women.
What?
Yeah, I just get tired
You
of
don't
that song.
skip too many. You skip too many songs on this album.
Yeah. Well, no, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna when Jen finish giving us some intro stuff on this album. We're gonna start going song by song and get our thoughts on.
The single "Pour Some Sugar on Me" that Greg just absolutely loves
Yeah.
was actually the last song written, and it was finished in 2 weeks. In contrast, the final version of "Animal" took almost the entire 3 years.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 best albums of all time. The magazine also ranked the album on top of its list of 50 greatest hair metal albums. And it placed their album, I thought this was pretty funny, it placed this album on their list of 50 rock albums every country fan should own.
I think I need to add this too. Just we're talking about Mutt Lange, the producer. A great producer can take an album, like a good album, make it great, and this guy probably did. Because I was listening to it when I listened to it through the other day. I have Spotify lossless, where it's like full spectrum. It's like you're hearing everything as it was recorded. Lossless is the best way to listen to music. And I was listening to this album, and you can hear all these little intricacies in it, the lossless thing, and you realize that guy just put a lot of effort into like layering stuff and probably, the harmonizing of the vocals and stuff. That,
They had a lot of layers.
yeah,
on
you
this.
listen to their early stuff, like listen to Rock of Ages, listen to that song, and then listen to like Animal or something like that. It's almost like not the same band. And that's production. That's not the band. That's because of production.
This album currently sits at the 51st best-selling album of all time in the U.S.
Yeah.
It spent 96 weeks in the U.S. Top 40, which was a record for the 1980s, and it ties with Born in the USA.
Where's Thriller on that? Thriller's got to be in there somewhere, though.
It's not on my list.
Okay. I find that hard to believe, but it probably is. Okay, just to throw that out there, though, let's throw some comparison to this, though. As big as this was, like Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd, is still on the Billboard Top 200. It was last year. It's still, it's been on there for 30-something years, on and off. Some of those albums.
You know why that is?
Wow.
Because, like you said earlier, all those people who were fans of that band
Yeah.
are so old now they forget where they put their CD,
Yeah.
so they have to buy a new copy. That's
Yeah.
why they do it.
Yeah.
That's why it's so popular. So,
I bought a copy of just off topic, I bought Dark Side of the Moon 10 years ago on CD. It was the 5.1 remaster where it's like a movie mix, where you can hear it behind you and all that
Right.
stuff. But my CD player wouldn't play. It had no special CD player. So I have it sitting here somewhere and I can't listen to it. I don't have anything to play it.
And I know Greg, he skips over Pour Some Sugar on Me all the time, but that is the song that's credited as propelling this album.
I only
In
skipped
the
it
charts.
because I've heard it so many times over the years. Because it was so big. It's sort of like an honor if I tell you that I skip a song now, take that as an honor because I probably loved that song for so long till it, I can't listen to half of Led Zeppelin 4 now. Like Black Dog, when that comes on, I've heard that song way too much.
so you skip all the Rolling Stone songs since you love them so
No,
much?
I
You do it all the
never.
time?
I never skip a Stone song. Though. I will say that
You
I don't
should-
skip
you
that.
should try.
I skip the knockoff Stones when the Aerosmith song comes on. I was like, oh, this is the Temu Stones, and I skip them.
Hey, listen, I got to go. Y'all enjoy the rest of your podcast.
Hey, you took a shot at the Stones, boy.
Well, under Mutt Lange's producing, Def Leppard layered all these guitars in the songs, which made it impossible to recreate live. And in an interview, lead singer Joe Elliott said, the song Hysteria has 11 guitar parts. We made a hybrid of them into two, the ones that people could really hear and the ones that aren't that important. And that's what they stuck with.
Yeah. Well, that's what I say when I play that lossless on Spotify. You can hear a lot of the stuff that you can't hear, just over a regular car radio or something, or just on a cheap stream.
7 singles were eventually released in the U.S., with Love Bites reaching number 1, and 3 others reached the top 10.
So Pour Some Sugar on Me never went to number 1?
No, it peaked at number 2.
I would say-
Armageddon, it peaked at number 3,
I
and
would say
Hysteria
out of
number
those,
10.
Love Bites should be number 1.
Gods of War should have went number one in my book.
That's not even a single. Yeah, so, well, let's run over the.
Let me
song.
leave you
Okay.
with this quote from Vivian Campbell.
Okay.
I can say objectively, because I wasn't in the band then, that Hysteria is one of the greatest records of all time.
Yeah,
Vivian
and
Campbell.
he can say that because Vivian Campbell wrote "Rainbow in the Dark" by Dio. So he wrote that song, so he knows his music. So let's go over the songs here. Jan didn't mention it, but I mentioned I read up. If you go to Wikipedia, go anywhere, they take stuff by how it came out when it was on vinyl and all that stuff, or cassette, because back then you had sides, So you stream stuff now or CD, but you don't have sides. But so side one, 6 songs on it, and they were all singles, and then side 2 had 6 songs on it, and 5 of them were like the B sides and stuff.
Yeah,
So-
I was looking at the album today. I found a picture of the actual album because
Yeah.
I don't have the album anymore.
Yeah.
And I looked, and the first 6, it's kind of like, when you buy a 45, you had an A and a B side. The B side was always like a
Yeah.
throwaway song almost.
Yeah,
That's what the whole second side of the album would be.
Yeah.
Would be like that,
Right.
except for one song.
yeah.
I mean,
So-
yeah, that's
It's wild to know, that they had that many singles. But the first song, number one, was "Women." Jan don't like to hear anymore, but that's a good song. Actually, when I was listening to it the other day, I've heard these songs so many times over the years. Like I say, I wasn't a huge Def Leppard fan, but I knew the hits. But I didn't realize that song was called "Women." When I started hearing it, it's like I look at it and I'm like, "Women," and I'm like, "That was a single." I don't remember a song "Women" from Def Leppard. And I started listening to it. I was like, I know this song. What the? I just didn't realize it was named "Women."
Yeah.
It was a
And
good.
that
It's a good song.
and he didn't want that released Joe didn't want that released as the first single.
Well, Joe was right.
He got outvoted by somebody in the band. I don't remember which band member wanted that to be the first, but he got outvoted and released it. And he was like, yeah, that's not really the best song to start off with.
Yeah,
But
and that's a big deal too. When you're picking out to release the first single from an album. I remember watching that Metallica documentary and the Black Album that made out Metallica so big. Bob Rock, there's a scene in that documentary where he's sitting down the guys. He goes, "Listen, Holier Than Thou is your debut single. Because it's going to hit them. That's going to be huge. Holier Than Thou is going to be like the biggest song you ever put out." And they're like, "Hey, I don't know about that." And then they decide, "Nah, let's put out Enter Sandman." And then look, if they
Yeah.
put Holier Than Thou out, that album might have never hit like that.
yeah, and Women only went to I think number 80 or so on the top 100.
So Joe
it
was right.
it was
I
a
mean,
week,
obviously they should not have opened, but I mean, it took, like Jan said, it took a build
Right,
to get
yeah.
that. It might have hit right off the bat if they'd released "Pour Some Sugar on Me" first, but I mean, it never went number one. So
Can I ask a question? Just something I've been pondering since we've been talking about music lately and stuff.
no,
I would
go ahead.
like to sit down. Do what?
I said no, but no, I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
No, I would like to sit down and ask these guys, like any of these bands, when you put together an album, CD or whatever, how do you determine the flow of the album? Because if you look at this, the B-sides, the last 6 songs on this album were not weak, but weaker compared to the first 6. How
Well,
do you determine that flow?
I
always
do
curious on
know.
that.
I would set the set list mostly for our band over the years, and when you're doing a set list for playing out, you won't do a couple fast ones and you slow it down, all that stuff. But you're right though, putting an album out like this, I don't know. This shocked me when I saw it though. Like that whole first side's all singles and hits, because I don't think bands normally did it that way.
Yeah.
I think you put what you consider a single, then maybe put the slower B-side song next, and then another hit. You think, and then I don't.
Try to mix it up.
Yeah, this was let's just shove it right in their face, man. Here you
Yeah,
go.
let's take them on a ride right off the bat.
Yeah. So Jan, Women you've heard too many times, right?
I've heard it way too many
But
times.
you like that song, right?
Yeah. I
So
mean, in the
we're-
80s, I never
All
skipped
three
it.
of us were giving it a thumbs up.
Oh, yes.
Yep, great song.
Okay. So the next song's "Rocket." Now I love that song.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
that's a radio staple. So we don't have to talk much about that song. That is a radio staple. Everybody loves "Rocket."
Yeah.
"Animal," that's one you sing along to. I mean, who doesn't love "Animal"? That's a great song.
And
He
I
was great
won't.
on the Muppets, and he's
And I
great on
need.
this album.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, that's just you sing along to it. "Animal," you want to sing along to that song. Yeah, that's
And I need.
and that's off
And
topic
I
a minute.
love.
That's one thing that Mutt Lange probably had a lot to do with, and I think they've talked about, they take pride in this, the way they harmonize. For
Yeah,
a
their
rock
harmonies are
band,
amazing.
this it's like Van Halen always took good care of putting Michael Anthony and Eddie as harmonizing, because it made some of their songs. Michael Anthony, and to a lesser part Eddie Van Halen harmonizing to Roth and Hagar was as big a part of that band as Eddie's guitar was. And Def Leppard's the same way. I was listening today. What was one of their older songs came on? We was coming from the High and Dry album. I was like, even then I was listening to it, and it's like they're harmonizing. It's like those guys harmonize. Everybody in that band could sing, apparently. So Love Bites. Yeah, that's that's your good ballad.
Yeah.
We can all relate to Love Bites.
Yeah, and
Is
that's
that's the song that they say has like some kind of hidden message in it?
I
Have you
didn't
heard
see
that
nothing
before?
about that. Are we going to have to do another episode of this to involve the conspiracies of Def
It's like
Leppard?
the kind of like the robotic voices or whatever that's in the song.
Yeah.
Toward the end of the song or whatever.
All right, Chris. I've figured out
Please.
your conspiracy.
Uh-oh.
Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, speak up.
All right.
Okay.
The hidden message in Def Leppard's Love Bites is said to be producer Mutt Lange saying bloody hell in a thick Yorkshire accent at the end of the song.
There you go.
Are you sure
Not-
it didn't say
not
we
a
love
sinister
the devil backwards or something?
Not a sinister phrase like some fans thought. It's a playful, intentional bit of audio
Gotcha.
that
I just
confirms
remember that was a big thing back in the day.
it confirms the song theme to painful love. I just think Love Bites was huge because everybody could relate to it.
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't been hurt in love?
Yeah.
Who hasn't been brought to their knees?
But that was your ballad for every 80s album, a rock
Oh,
band
yeah.
had to put a ballad, and that was their ballad. So,
Yep.
and that would be right up there with one of the best ballads of the 80s. Yeah.
Yep.
Heaven by Warrant, of course, is number one, but hey. we
Angel.
can talk- Yeah, okay. All right. You know what? I'm going to give you that
Yeah.
one. Chris.
Thank
Angel
you.
by
Oh, yay, Chris,
Aerosmith
he
is
finally gave
better
you
than
one.
Heaven by Warrant. So,
That's right. Gotcha. Good.
So-
Glad we agree.
What about Save Your
My
Love?
job here is done.
all
Great
right,
White, Save All Your
Yeah,
Love.
that's good. Don't know what you got till it's gone, Cinderella. Hey,
That's a
Okay.
different podcast.
all right, we're going to do it. We're going to do an 80s ballad podcast.
I'm
You
writing
ready?
it down.
That we'll do that maybe sometime in February. So, all
Oh
right.
yeah, for Valentine's Day. That'd be good.
Oh, ooh, look at that. You're earning your keep.
We're planning it on the fly.
Yeah.
Chris, you are worth every cent that we don't pay you.
You're a pixel peep.
I know.
You're a pixel
Yeah, I
peep
know.
right now, Chris, but you
I
might end
know.
up being a pixel people.
I'm striving. I'm growing. Hopefully to be
If you
there
go
one day.
to thepixelunderground.com, people, and click on the Pixel Pod page, you can see the hierarchy of the staff involved with the podcast. So the next one is Pour Some Sugar on Me, which, I mean, that's just a monster hit. I mean,
Peaked at number 2.
you have those bands that that's higher than I was thinking when he was talking about it. You got those bands and those songs, and you would have like everybody always says Mount Rushmore. Let's say a Mount Rushmore of 80 songs, but you don't limit it at 4, obviously. You just say, just as a term of Mount Rushmore, if you're doing a Mount Rushmore of 80 songs, Pour Some Sugar on Me is on it. It's probably not their favorite song they did, and it's probably not a lot of their fans' favorite songs, but that song is like, it's right up there with Purple Rain, all that stuff, when that song defined a band. So you can't.
it was the gateway to Def Leppard for a lot of people, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, mine was Rock of Ages. When that hit, when it starts with that opening,
Such a great song.
that song as a kid, I remember recording it off the radio. It was like, listen to it constantly, that song, but.
Yeah.
So we all agree. Every song we've talked about right now, we all give thumbs up, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one's Armageddon It. That's another good
That's
one.
my favorite song on the album.
Really?
Yeah.
That's another one you can sing along to,
Yep, I love it. That's my favorite one. When I listened to it again today, when I was listening to the album again today, I
Yeah.
played it twice back to back.
Yeah.
It's the only song I did that too.
Yeah.
I love this song.
Oh, yeah. Jan, you're a fan of Armageddon It?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So that's all those songs we just named off, we all gave all thumbs up to and talked about those are all great songs. That is the entire first side of that album.
Yeah.
So every song's like a hit, every song's a monster, every song's thumbs up. Let's flip it over here. Let's go to side 2. Right off the bat, this song, Jan loves this song. She's always told me she loves
love
it.
this
Gods of
song.
War. And I've grown to like it. I like the song. There's a little
Or you like Jan.
I like
He
Jan,
likes
but,
me, so he likes this song.
but the more I've listened to that song this week, I thought it is a good song.
I know it's a protest song.
It's them getting a little political, and Def Leppard don't need to be political, but it's tolerable in this song.
Yeah.
I'll
skip this one. I would skip this one
Yeah.
if I wasn't listening to it for the
I would have skipped
podcast.
it. I would have skipped it up until this week, and I started listening to the whole album through, and I was like, you know what? I would listen to this song now, and I probably wouldn't a year ago, but I would now. But it's like I skipped the end. It's like he's got to throw the Reagan and Thatcher and all that stuff.
That's
like,
what I
nah,
love about
nah.
it. I love hearing Reagan.
Get
on
out
the
of here,
end it.
communist. No. Yeah, okay, the next song is Don't Shoot Shotgun. The start of that song is cheesy as all get out. And I was actually got like a minute into it the other day, and I was like, I'm just skipping over this. But I listened to it all the way through, and it does rock, but it wouldn't be one I go to. But
Yeah.
if you took a little bit of the cheesy opening, I'm sure that was Mutt Lane trying to get cute with the opening. If you took the cheesy opening and just kicked right into the guitar and did it, it would be a banger. So I'm going to give it like a neutral. I don't dislike that song, but I don't hate it either.
None of these songs are songs that I detest. You know what I'm saying? None
Right,
of them are,
yeah, I'm not
horrible.
like miserable listening
Just
to it, but it's just like
there's certain,
there's better songs. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip to one of their other ones. You know?
So, Run Riot. Wait a minute, Jan. Don't shoot shotgun. What do you think?
I don't mind Don't Shoot Shotgun.
Yeah.
And I love at the beginning where they go, she's so dangerous.
It's just cheesy.
I
to
love
me.
that part.
It's 80s cheese, But you liked it in the 80s, so I get it. The next song is Run Riot. It was all right.
It's catchy.
Yeah, it's catchy. I'm probably not going to jam on it, but again, like you say, I'm not going to dislike it. I'm not going to give it a thumbs down. It's a neutral song. It's a good side B. That will be one of them songs. So far, that and Gods of War and Don't Shoot Shotgun, if it was the B side to something, and I bought like a 45 back in the day, I would have listened to it every now and then. I wouldn't have disliked it, but I wouldn't. So, but then it brings us, okay, just when you think the album's dying out, bam, right in your face, Hysteria, the song Hysteria.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yep.
It's. I don't know if they did that on purpose. You talk about Chris. You'd like to know how they laid this out.
Yeah.
But it starts to tail off, and then let's start here. You think you're getting tired of us? Here's one right in your face, buddy. Hysteria. It's good, and that brings you back, fires you back up for the last two songs. So I'm gonna give Hysteria. Everybody's another one sing along with. We used to do a TikTok video a day and put that song in it. Yeah, we all three giving that one thumbs up, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And the next song is Excitable.
I like it.
I'm giving it like,
There's a Def Leppard cover band. That's the name of the cover band
Yeah.
that plays around here.
Yeah.
And
To me, it's just so catchy. Stand up.
That's what you got to
stand
do
up,
now.
say
If
yes,
you're a Def
yes.
Leppard cover band or any cover band now, all the good song titles are taken by cover bands. So you got to go deep in the catalog. Every Stones song, every Stones cover band you come out, can't be Start Me Up. Somebody came up with that 30 years ago. So I got to find something off, Beggar's Banquet or Aftermath, so to name my band after. So yeah, I'm not gonna hate on it. It is what it is. I'll give it a neutral, and that brings us to the last song.
I'll give it a thumbs up.
Okay, all right, there you go.
Yeah.
Stand up.
So that's the first. No, I gave Gods of War a thumbs up. So, all right. So that brings us to the last song on side 2, Love and Affection. Jan, what do you think?
I like it. I don't mind
You
it.
like every song on this album. So that's why
Yeah.
Chris is on here this week. We needed someone who's neutral.
Yeah, it's a good song buried at the bottom of the album.
Yeah.
So it could have probably switched places with a couple of other ones that are just songs.
Yeah.
But overall, it's a good song, but it deserves its place at the end of the album, I think.
Here's the thing about this album is even the B-sides that are, you're kind of like on are great songs though, because a lot of bands, man, put albums out in the 80s, and they had like the first or second single just like in your face, like, man, I've got to have this album, and you buy it, then you realize, I should just bought those two songs because the rest of the album's garbage. The rest of this album ain't garbage. It's just not up to the first 6 singles, but it's good. So
Yeah. There'd be a lot of bands that would die to have put out those last 6 songs as their catalog.
So
You're exactly right.
I had a little thing right here. That Love and Affection, the last song, it was nearly released as an 8th single. That was almost the 8th single off that album, but they didn't put another single out. I guess they had already went on to, we just need to go ahead and start working on the next album. Which, what was the next album? It was
Adrenaline.
I think it was, but it sold like 3 million copies and was considered like a bomb by them.
Yeah, Adrenalize was 1992.
3 million copies, had like 4 hit singles off of it, and they were like, oh man, they're on their way down now. Look at that. It's like, that's the downside to having one of these monster albums. It's like, like Van Halen, 1984 was so big that Roth leaving and Sammy coming in is probably what saved that band. Because everything they would have put out after 84 would have been like, it's not this. Where's the jump? Where's this? And it probably would have just tailed off.
But we're talking about how huge this album was, but it also cost a lot to make.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't cheap.
How much did you know? How
David
much?
Simone, the managing director of Phonogram Records at the time, said the album is quite possibly the most expensive record made in the whole UK.
Does he give a total though?
No, I couldn't find a total.
Okay, he said the whole. You
So,
said he said the whole UK.
the
though,
whole
right?
UK,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, if
But
it takes you
accor-
3 years to make an album,
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's going to be expensive as crap.
And according to guitarist Phil Collin, the album had to sell a minimum of 5 million copies just to
Yeah.
break even.
Yeah, I'm glad I picked this album because I wanted a big 80s album to do the first one for this, and it was just coincidence that Jen's such a big Def Leppard fan, and then I listened to it, and I'm like, all right, first time, this is probably the first time I ever listened to this album all the way through, like from
Really?
beginning to end. I've heard songs over the years, like a song here, a song there, but you know me, this drives Jen crazy, but on Spotify, I hit shuffle on everything. So if I'm listening to an album, it shuffles. Like,
Yeah.
it might be Jump, and then the next song
And
is...
I'm the opposite. I
is
have
I'll
to
wait.
listen
Well-
to it in order.
Yeah,
I was going to bring that point up a minute ago. I don't have Spotify for music. I use Apple.
Yeah.
And you play the song and you can hit shuffle.
Yeah.
No.
And that's what I was going to say a minute ago is, yeah, you might listen. So let's say originally you were listening to Hysteria and you love the first 6 songs, and then Hysteria comes on. So you get to that and you skip those other songs. When you shuffle, it mixes them up a little bit. So you may give some songs you wouldn't have listened to a listen. So it's actually a benefit.
That's why
when
in
me
the
and Jen
80s
started dating, she said that one time. What are you doing? Listen to it in order. I'm like, no.
That's the way the band intended it to
Yeah,
be.
I know.
If it's a concept album, if it's like
Yeah,
The
The
Wall,
Wall,
or
you can't
Queensryche,
shuffle.
Queensryche,
the
Operation
Queensryche
Mindcrime.
album,
I think that
You-
might
you
have been
can't-
Chris. That might have been the album that got
That
her.
was the album.
Queensryche. Yeah, I was playing it one time for
Out
her,
of
and she was
order.
like, what is this?
And I about lost it.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the album. She goes, that is not in order. And I'm like, well, I don't know what the order is. It's how, because I made her the playlist of them songs. I forget why I did it, but I put the songs in a playlist for that. And she was just like, that's not the order. I'm like, I don't know what the order is. I just listen to songs. So anyway, well, that'll do it for this one. It was a fun album to do. And we've already since I picked a big record for this one, I got to researching last week thinking about what the next one would be, and it hit me, why don't I just look and see what albums were released each month? We're doing it like in February. So I Googled and checked what albums were released in the 80s in the month of February. And the biggest one that popped up was Face Value by Phil Collins, his first solo album. And I thought that'd be a great one to do. So that's the one we're going to do in February.
I already have our August one picked out. So
All right, what is it? What's August?
Permanent Vacation.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Aerosmith, yeah.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
do that one for August.
You and Jan can try to turn me into an Aerosmith fan off that record. So
We'll try our best.
I had wait a minute, no, that's the one before Pump, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, okay. I had Pump.
Yeah,
I
Pump's great. But
Chris, I have spent money and purchased 3 Aerosmith albums in my life. I bought Pump, I bought 9 Lives, and I bought their Greatest Hits album.
Not
So-
Toys in the
gotcha.
Attic.
Good.
No, not Toys in the Attic. I just had Pump. Pump had Love in an Elevator on it, and I was like, that's such a great
Correct.
song, and I bought that album.
Yeah.
Going down.
Yeah, that's such a good. I even had that on Casingle. I bought
Casingle,
I
nice,
bought
yeah.
the Casingle, then went and bought the cassette.
Yeah. What I like about these 80s albums, the Aerosmith ones, the Def Leppard, the Michael Jacksons, all those ones, is we're in 2026 now, and they're from the 80s, and they still musically hold up. The musicianship, just the creativity, just that stuff that the artists now sample so much from
Yeah.
these other people that, like, these guys were like, they did say, I'm not going to say they didn't use bits and pieces from other stuff, but it's not prominent like it is now. But when you look at those bands and those people like that, it's just 45 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years for like the Rolling Stones, 100 years for Rolling Stones as old as they are.
Yeah.
That stuff holds up.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? That you can play it now, and it's just like,
I
good
brought that up
Lord.
to Jan when he was coming home today when we was listening to this album, and I said Mutt Lange produced this record and made it so glossy and so perfectly polished that it holds up like any album that comes out today. Like it is not aged.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
and I'm tell you something, I don't know how many people know a whole lot about recording albums, but all that stuff was analog. That was on tape. And that was 64 back then when this was done, the 64 track recorder, but you know, you would put that on tape and you had to do edits and stuff. You didn't just go back and delete that and record over it. You had to cut and splice.
Yeah.
And now everything's digital. If you don't like something, you just go back and cut that part out and re-record a part over it and put it over it. But no, this was back in the day where you had to take tape, cut it with razors, tape it back together. I mean, there's a lot of work to go to make an album sound this good back then.
Yeah.
But on the downside, it makes it impossible to recreate live.
Yeah, well, but you know, that's what I saw a guy bagging on the Stones the other day because Triumph is touring right now, but their bass player, it's just their bass player and their drummer, and they brought a drummer, a bass player, a guitarist, and a singer, and the older bass player and the drummer are basically sitting off to the side just playing the basic beat while the other guys do all the music. And I saw a guy on Facebook, I forget his name, he's a big music guy, saying, how is this any different than the Stones? You look up at the Stones, and they got 12 guys on that stage. But I want to point out that the Stones in 72 had 12 guys on that stage because they went out there and they had a horn section and a backup singer to recreate the stuff they did in the studio. This isn't putting all replacement guys in there. You know, they've done it for 40, 50 years to recreate what they did on an album. And, you know, there's no shame in that. And, you know, Def Leppard, you know, they could throw another. We just saw... Three of us just saw Trickster last week, and Steve Brown, their guitar player, has been playing on tour, filling on and off for Def Leppard for the last 5-6 years when Vivian Campbell had to go do cancer treatment. So, you know, it's should bring him along and let him play third guitar, you know, just to fill in some of that stuff, but they still sound great.
Shout out to Trickster.
Yeah, shout out to Trickster. That was a great show we saw last week. And if you're an 80s fan or not, if you see Trickster coming to your city, and they're not touring big cities, they were in Hickory, North Carolina last week.
Just like they did in the 80s in Cadillacs.
Yeah, they were talked about playing Cadillacs or Rockies and Rocky Scarfone on Cadillacs in Hickory back in the 80s. And, yeah, that was a place you saw music in Hickory in the 80s. But if you see them coming to some little club in your city, even if you don't know Trickster music, go see them because you'll be a fan when you leave. Yeah.
Great show.
Well, that'll do it for this week's episode. Chris, got anything to say?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Jan?
All right.
Shine on.
The Pixel People Pod. Snap, 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 it's on. Rewind the future fraud. The Pixel People Pod.
Nachrichten